Welcome back to Rant and Rave. I'm delighted once again to be joined by the man himself, Dave. How you keeping, mate?
All good, bro. How's things with you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Of course, we are fresh off UFC 285. We're going to be running through our local lad, our hometown hero, the new kind of face, the Irish face in the UFC scene. Of course, Ian Garry, from our neck of the woods, Dave, as well. So it's a
Yeah.
funny one to see him. Of course, 25 years of age, and he did fight against Song Kenan, I believe, is who he was fighting at the weekend, and he did secure the finish in round three. Was a little bit of a difficult journey to the finish. Obviously, he was knocked down in round one, so it wasn't plain sailing the whole way through. But what were your kind of general thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, no, it was a good performance for me. And obviously, having watched it, it was the first round. He was looking good. I think he was kind of pressuring Song, wasn't Song Kanan, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
He was pressuring him, and I think he seemed like Song was getting a bit overwhelmed. But then he leant in and did that hook to the body, and then just got caught with a filthy left hook and got floored.
Mm.
But I was impressed with his recovery, in fairness, because that was a heavy shot, and for a second there, I thought this is it, like the hype train's derailed,
Yeah,
just like that. But
the
he
future is
recovered
on.
well. He recovered well. Like, to be fair, like that was a fucking heavy shot, probably the heaviest he's like. I don't think he's ever been dropped in his career, if I'm not mistaken. Not like that anyway.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the finish was brilliant as well. Like it was a complete flurry of punches, and he was mixing it up. He wasn't throwing the same shots. Like he was throwing uppercuts, hooks, straight. So yeah, really impressed with his performance.
Yeah, yeah, because it could have rattled him easily, just kind of getting knocked down early, and it could have been tough to recover. But as you said, really, really strong recovery. He actually finished the round one quite strongly as well, and obviously went into round two, dominated the fight from there. And yeah, as you said, that finish was really, really excellent as well. Really nice combo, and did really well to get him down. And it's funny, we were kind of saying at the start of the video, like a hometown lad. I remember, I think you were at this house party that we were at together, and I remember this is years ago now. I think it was like 16 or something, and Ian Garry was out the front, and I never really knew him. This is like the first time I've ever seen him before, and I didn't really know him. Right? And he was doing these like head kicks and everything at the front of the head party, and I was like, "What is this twat at? Like, what a belly!" And I was like, "Who is this fella?" And now looking at him, fucking USC.
Oh, that's
11 and 0 in the 4 and 0 in the UFC. He's absolutely crushing it, and yeah, he's smashing it. So yeah, I'm the fool
yeah,
if
but
you like.
like that type of things, it's not very cool until he's doing it in the UFC,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah,
Those things are
like a
you're
spinning
gonna
head
you're
kick. I was
gonna
like,
kind
"What is
of
this twat up to?" Like,
interesting. Like, do you see his Instagram post after it got quite a bit of backlash,
yeah,
where he posted a photo of his opponent kind of looking badly beaten, and I just flicked through the comments on Instagram. He did address it, but I think a lot of people were kind of unhappy with posting something like that, maybe kind of gloating, and it just didn't. Maybe it wasn't the right call straight after the fight to kind of post a photo like that. But
it was a weird
um,
image as well, wasn't it? Like,
it was weird. It was strange. Like I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it. I think my initial reaction is that it is kind of disrespectful, especially considering, he was challenged. It wasn't like he went in there and made your man look a fool. Like he was dropped and he was challenged. So to post a photo of him, beaten up, like I don't know. I think he could have been a little bit more humble about it, but that's
yeah,
just my opinion.
strange selection of image. Like, you'd think you'd rather just focus on yourself and your own
Yeah,
kind of thing rather than focus on the opponent. But listen,
yeah.
I suppose it's the
Each
way
their
his
own,
mind
yeah.
is. I think what was his explanation again? It was like, "This is my
It was
canvas."
along the lines of, yeah, there was something along the lines of like this is art to him and stuff, and this is like he's painting a canvas, which okay, whatever about that. But he said something along the lines of like, I can post this because I'm gonna post the video of me getting like dropped. But I said I just feel like it's not kind of his place to post a photo like that. Like he can post a video of him getting dropped, no problem, but there's no ill will towards that opponent. There was respect in the cage. So I just feel like maybe
Yeah.
he should stop, but it is what it is.
All respect in the build up as well. So I don't think it was actually like meant in a like, I don't think he actually probably didn't mean it in a way of like distasteful towards the opponent. It's just a strange kind of
It
selection.
depends because like he could have meant one thing, but other people are going to take it a different way. So
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
he seemed to explain himself one way or another. So yeah,
And obviously that was his first fight in 8 months, so it was quite a long enough layoff for a young fighter as well. You
didn't
want to be quite
that's
active.
mad. I didn't know that.
I think it was to do with the birth of his son as well. Took a little bit of time off just for
Oh yeah, that
as
makes
well.
sense.
So
Yes. Yeah.
congratulations to him on that as well, which is brilliant. But yeah, he wants to fight in 5 weeks. He wants to make up for that lost time in at UFC 287 in Miami. I think that's what he said post fight. That's what he's targeting. So quick turnaround is planned for Ian Garry, and do you think it's kind of a case of just kind of that welterweight division is such a shark tank? Is a case of just kind of giving them these kind of fighters just for a little bit longer, and at what point do you kind of toss them in? Because obviously we've had the Darren Tills before where maybe they're pushed too soon and it kind of had an impact on their career. Then is it a case of like minding him and making sure he's not tossed into that shark tank too early?
Yeah, I suppose like I wouldn't maybe necessarily say minding him, but like along those lines, yeah, I do agree. Like I think potentially giving him matchups that suit his style of fighting for the moment because he is so young, and I feel like he is obviously ultra confident, but you don't want to knock that confidence too early by putting him in against someone that is up a level or up a class. Like, so I think it would suit the UFC, it would suit him to kind of have a few more unranked opponents and see how he gets on with these guys, and then eventually enter into the top 10 if he makes it there.
Mm.
Um, I actually seen a video there the other day. I don't know if you came across it, but he broke down the top 10 in welterweight. Like he went
Actually, I
down
haven't
through
seen this, no.
each person. Yeah, it was actually good. Just to see what he was saying. But he was like saying like four of them are training partners because he's training down in Sanford
Yeah,
MMA in Florida. And it's like the guys he's training with, like, and the age he's at, like you just have to think like he's got so much potential, like
yeah,
because he's training with like the likes of Michael Chandler, Gilbert Burns. These guys are all top five fighters, like, so
yeah.
the growth potential is obviously
He
clearly
knows
there.
what it takes as well. You're probably in there with them nearly every day as well, so he kind of knows the levels he needs to be at. So that is kind of reassuring to think of, and I think that'll probably play a factor in terms of who he thinks he can beat and stuff. And he seems like confident, and he seems like he can beat them all. Did he mention that he would fight training partners? No, he has no problem doing that, does he?
Yeah, no, it was kind of like he kind of said like, oh, I'm not going to fight them, but like, I would if I had to, or like we if it came to it, we talk about it, like, but
Mm.
it's one of those things, like we're not at that point yet to even
No,
think
it's
about it. It's like if he starts to move up the ranks or even get into a ranking position where he's maybe ranked, between 15 and 10, where there's talks of top fighting the top 10, then obviously it's a conversation to be had. But
yeah,
there's also plenty of other fighters in the top 10 that he doesn't train with.
yeah.
And it was also mentioned, it was funny, he was saying he had to get like I think it was a bone fixed in his face or something, cause Leon Edwards caught him with a kick.
Oh, really? Yeah, in
Yeah,
training.
because he was training with him. They're not in the same gym, but he was training with him one of the days, and I think he got caught with an Usman head kick, like, and he
Oh
got
my
caught in the
goodness,
face,
it's
and
mad.
he had to go get surgery or something. I think I could be wrong now. I'm not sure if he got surgery, but he was injured or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny, isn't it?
Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I think the type of fight maybe to be looking at maybe towards next year is maybe like those bigger names, but like fights you could win and probably stay in defeat. Maybe like a Masvidal type is probably the ideal, isn't it? Someone
Yeah.
along those lines, like a big name, someone to that's definitely beatable. Maybe at the tail end of their career, and yeah, certainly beatable. So I think he said something about fighting Diaz before. I don't know if Diaz isn't signed to the UFC at the moment, but those type of fighters, like they're the
The
main.
likes of like how Cowboy acted like that for a few fighters.
Hill was one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And well, Masvidal as well, I suppose, but he was still quite on in his career. But yeah, I feel like Cowboy kind of acted like that stepping stone. But obviously, is he retired now?
I
I
was
think.
only thinking that. I'm not
Yeah,
100%
I'm not
sure.
100% sure, but
Yeah.
I
Just
think
check.
he might be done. But,
Definitely, yeah, anyway.
yeah, someone like that, as you say, like Masvidal in the next couple of years, maybe when he's starting to wind down,
Yeah.
um, he could be a good fight for him.
Yeah, 25 as well, still very, very young, like kind of
Oh,
plenty of time to hit his
very
peak, and you can get another maybe 5, 6 fights in the UFC against maybe unranked fighters, and then go from there and really start testing
easy,
yourself. Yeah.
easily. Like he's even by the time he's 27, 28, if he gets another, like 6, 7, 8 fights, like that's so much experience, and he's still only in his late 20s. Like he's only not even coming into his prime yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, huge potential.
The sky is the limit for Ian Garry. Let us know down in the comments what you think is next for Ian Garry. Should he fight in 5 weeks? And how quickly should the UFC push him as well? And what did you make of his performance? If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like on it down below. And please do subscribe. Plenty of other content on the channel. We'll have a UFC 285 roundup as well. So make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in a bit.